So you guys, welcome to the explanation of the past continuous, something that's quite new for you guys. So let's dig in straight away. And we're going to start with form. And don't forget to take notes in your notebook because you will need this information later on as well, of course. So let's go to the form of the past continuous. So what is a past continuous? What does it look like? Well, it looks like this. It says there, right there, was and were plus a verb plus ing. So some examples, I was dancing, you were dancing, he, she, it was dancing, and all the plurals, we, you, and they all were dancing. So fairly straightforward. It doesn't matter whether a verb is regular or irregular. It basically always works like this. Quite to the point and simple, right? Let's have a look at questions and negation then, okay? Oh, and if I'm going too fast and you can't keep up with your note taking, there's always the pause button, right? Just pause me for a sec and then carry on when you're ready. Okay, let's carry on with questions and negation then. It's actually quite simple because all of these sentences are like special verbs. That means that when we negate, we can just add the not or the nt to was or were. And when we make questions, we can invert, swap around the subject and the verb. Okay, that sounded really hard. Let's do some examples. If we have I was dancing, for instance, and I want to say the negated version of that, I add not to was. I wasn't dancing, or I was not dancing, also allowed. Or if I were to do a question of the same sentence, I would say, was I dancing? Same thing if you're using were. You were dancing, you weren't dancing, were you dancing? Simple, right? Like a normal Dutch sentence, really. Okay, let's practice this a little bit because that was a lot of information already. Press pause, do the sentences, and then start me when you're done. Okay, I'm going to assume that you restarted me by now. Let's have a look at the answers. Okay, so what were you supposed to fill in? In the first one, Julie was sleeping at 9 because Julie is a she, so she gets was and sleep plus ing makes it sleeping. In sentence number 2, we had a question and the subject was you, and you comes with were. So were you studying at 3 o'clock? And yes, the spelling of studying looks really strange, but it is correct. It is indeed a Y and then an I, like that. And then the negation of that, no, Luke and I weren't studying at 3 o'clock. In 4, they were eating, where we added ing to eat, nothing special. And in 5, we have John, and John was playing. Quite simple, maybe, perhaps? I don't know. Perhaps you think you might need some more practice. If that's the case, then you can see a link right there. I'm not sure if you can click it from the video, but if you can't, it's just a matter of typing it into your URL box up there and you'll have it. Okay, for now, let's carry on and we're going to go to the use of it. So let's have a look. So when do we use a past continuous? We have 2 reasons to use it. Reason number 1 is basically the past version of the present continuous. So something was going on at a specific time in the past. Remember, present continuous we used if something was going on right now. Past continuous we use when something was going on at a time in the past. Iets was bezig, iets gebeurde of was aan het gebeuren, moet ik zeggen, op een bepaald moment in het verleden. Een specifiek moment. The second use is, well, in the past we have a longer action and it's interrupted by a short action. We use past continuous and past simple in a combination then. For instance, when I was doing my homework, Mum brought me a cup of tea. We see a past continuous in the first bit, when I was doing my homework, and usually in a normal week it takes me about 2 hours to do my homework, so a longer action. And in that longer period of time, something short happened. My mum came in and gave me tea. past simple. So past continuous is often combined with past simple in a sentence, and if that's the case, then you're looking at a long en een short action. Een lange actie in het verleden die onderbroken wordt door een korte actie, waarbij de lange actie in de past continuous staat en de korte actie in de past simple. Okay, let's carry on with the keywords because every verb tense has got keywords, right? Well, the past continuous has keywords, but they are the same as for past simple. So they are all specific times in the past, like yesterday, last year, in 1988, and when I was younger. That means that from now on, when you see a specific time in the past, you have to think about what to use. Do you use past simple or do you use past continuous? I'm sorry. Okay, let's carry on. Time to practice a bit. Here we go. I came up with 5 sentences for you. Each of these sentences has 2 gaps in it. In one gap, you need to fill in a past continuous. In the other, a past simple. That means you need to figure out per sentence which action is the long one and which action is the short one. Long one, past continuous, short one, past simple. Okay, put me on pause again, and then when you're ready, you click on play again and I'll tell you the answers. Okay, I'm assuming that you put me on play again. Here we go. Let's go to the answers. In sentence number 1, the longer action was watching TV, and the doorbell ringing was the short action. So I was watching TV and then the doorbell rang. In the second one, Jack and his presentation, the finishing took about 5 minutes. And in that time period of 5 minutes, the alarm started, short action that interrupted his. In 3, I was opening the front door. Took me a while because I'm a very slow person. And while I was doing that, a quick thing happened. A cat ran in, and that's it. So just as I was opening my front door, a cat ran inside. In 4, my mum calling me is a short action that happened during my eating of the dinner. So my mum telephoned me when I was eating dinner. And lastly, there was a period of time where I was doing my exercises, and it took me about an hour, very long one. And in that hour, the mailman came, stopped by, short action. So when the mailman came, I was doing my exercises. Perhaps you want to practice this one a bit more as well. So there's a link again. Try it if you like. Also, there might be some homework about this, right? So don't worry if you don't want to practice that one. I'm sure there'll be some work for you soon. Okay, let's go back here. That's all you needed to know about the past continuous. You now know about the form. You know about when to use it, and you've practiced a little bit already. Make sure you complete your notes. You can always go back in the video or restart the video if you want to hear it again. I will see you soon for some other explanation, I'm sure. Bye-bye.